February 1967, and I've been in Vietnam now for 10 months. I'm a combat correspondent for the Army's 25th Infantry Division. And when I got here, I supported LBJ and this war. But now, well, when I first got here, I was out in the field and we just shot up this village for no fucking reason at all. I mean, all the huts were just on fire, and after it was over, all the villagers came out and they walked right by us and they didn't even look at us. With the exception of this little 3-year-old boy who stopped and just stared me in the face. And a couple of months ago, a bunch of our wolfhounds were butchered in the Boloy Woods because of some fucking dumbass general of ours had no fucking idea what he's doing. And the Army just fucking lied about it and promoted the general. And, well, you know, I don't even want to talk about this, but I fucked up putting out the division newspaper and I ended up with 2 months of shit burning detail. But, hey, Bob Hope is coming out to visit us in Cu Chi tomorrow. So, you know, that's really going to be great. And after that, I'm going off on R&R, and after that, I'm going home. Get the fuck out of this shit detail. Oh, it is Bob Hope, and he is here. And is he ever? Bob Hope grabs that classic driver and takes his signature swing. Hey, everybody. It's great to be here at Cu Chi. This highway patrolman pulled over this speeding limousine. The driver rolls down the window. It's Lyndon Johnson. The highway patrolman goes, "Oh my God." The president says, "You better believe it." Hey, everybody, that's just a joke. President's not going to stop this U.S. Hey, Bob, I need to get your keys. Well, hey, Nancy, can't you see? I'm right in the middle of a joke. But, Bob, I need those keys. Well, Nancy, why don't you just get them out of my pocket? Well, okay, Bob. Ooh, I feel a little funny. Well, hey, Nancy, dig a little deeper, and you'll feel a little nuts. And then Nancy Sinatra grabs Ann Margaret and Joey Heatherton, and those gals just strut their stuff. And 10,000 GIs go a little nuts. Long time no round eyes. Hey, everybody. Gotta go now. You've been a great group today. And I just want to remind you, America's behind you. 18%. Oh, this is my favorite dance song, guys. Watch me now, okay? The kids in Bristol are sharp as a pistol when they do the Bristol stop. Really sometimes the joy is jumping when they do the Bristol stop. I'm at the Las Vegas bar in downtown Bangkok. 5 days here, 9 days back at Cu Chi, and then I am fucking going home. And this place is incredible. The music, it's pulsating. The lights, pulsating. The girls, pulsation, sensation. And see that gal there? That's Kimmy. She's my girlfriend. I mean, look at those tits. They're the size of Cleveland, including the suburbs. $11 a night. $55 for 5 nights with Kimmy. No, I don't think you get this. You don't understand. I can have sex anytime I want. Day, night. 3:27 a.m. Hey, my mom always preached, don't have sex until you get married. But I like what they're preaching back in Berkeley. Make love, not war. And Kimmy and I, we're going to be making love. Right? Okay, I was a bit of a jerk back then. It's the same time back at Coochie. Guys are just finishing up their work in the office. This is a huge office. We are right in the middle of the base camp. You, and you're all protecting us. 15,000 of you. Infantry units, cavalry units, armored units. We are so safe here. Look through that window over there to where our tent is. No, I didn't mean to actually do that. Where our tent is. Doesn't even need a top. That bunker doesn't even need a top. Let me show you some of my buddies. Jimmy Edwards, editor. Jimmy Edwards. Everybody loves Jimmy Edwards. I mean, even the assholes love Jimmy Edwards. I mean, how could you not? He's a great guy, works his ass off, and he married this sweet gal from Texas just before he left. They hardly knew each other. Jimmy brought Janie to Hawaii a couple of months ago on R&R. Hawaii. Wow. And she cried on his shoulder. Jimmy's writing, one time I dragged Jimmy down to Saigon with me to 100 P Alley. Of course the place stinks. Of course the mattresses are stained. But the girls, so cute, so hot, so cheap. Dave, I can't do this. Someday you'll understand. Jimmy's writing a Janie a letter right now. My dear, sweetest Janie. Jimmy has written Janie a letter every night for the last 8 months. Every single night. Joe Kramer, artist. Now he's special. He is the only guy in this office that's ever been in the infantry. 3 months ago he was down in Boloy Woods with the Wolfhounds. They got caught in a firefight and Joe killed 3 Viet Cong. Killed. Dave, I found out later that my wife gave birth to our second child the same day that I killed those men. I knew then that I had to get the hell out of the infantry. Joe's just as brave with his pen. The other day he drew this cartoon strip of a homeward bound American soldier trying to figure out what kind of job he's qualified to do. In the final panel, the soldier has his machine gun out. Anybody need a professional killer? David Fisher, I think this guy's after Congressional Medal of Honor. He just loves the action. Yeah, I'm going out with a 3/4 cab tomorrow. We're gonna get us some VC. Gonna be fun. Dave also likes to drink. The other day, Captain Muttface said to him, Specialist Fisher, you are one low-life alcoholic. Get your fucking ass out of this office. Fish was humiliated. So he goes back to our tent and he puts on his helmet and he starts jogging around the administration loop. Absolutely naked. Yeah, it was Jimmy's way of saying, fuck you, to the Army. Well, after that, we all loved Fish. I mean, he was like our little brother gotten beat up by some big bully and wouldn't give in. It's 1 a.m. the same night. Gino Carlo has just returned to our tent. Gino's been down at the mess hall negotiating for chicken and hamburger for tomorrow night's barbecue. Steve says, Gino, you couldn't get any steaks? Motherfucking chef, only a tray of steaks for dead VC Afalto. All I have is a pussy shot. Steve Burns grabs the book, jumps into his bunk, but by the second paragraph, he's fast asleep. Gino looks down the row of mosquito nets. Everyone is asleep. He relishes the silence, then looks at my empty bunk. I bet Dave fucking his ass off right now. We're back at my hotel. It's 1 a.m. and to be honest, it's really not going the way I had planned. Kimmy says, we go restaurant, eat. Eat? What kind of bullshit is that? When we finally get back to my room about an hour later, she's ordered half of everything on the fucking menu, which of course I have to pay for, and got like a couple of shopping bags full of food, which I think she's probably just going to give to her family, and now she's pulling pictures out of her purse. I really don't want to, see family photos at this particular moment. Okay. Well, this first picture is of a black guy with an M16 in the jungle. On the back, he's written, "To my sweet Kimmy, I love you too much, Charlie." Well, the second guy looks Latino, and he's written, "Kimmy, I will come back to Bangkok and take you home to mi casa in San Jose, Ricardo." What? This guy's name is John, and he's written, "Kimmy, thanks for the great week. I'll try to look you up again when my company sends me back to Bangkok." Well, this guy looks like 10 to 15 years older than my dad. Kimmy, my friends say Thai girl #1 in world, make GI very happy. Please? And so Kimmy and I finally make love, but she just lies still, doesn't say a word, and stares at the ceiling. I'll tell you right now, Kimmy isn't going to leave here with my picture. I mean, I don't get what's going on. It's like she's treating this whole thing like it's a fucking job or something. It's 5:40 a.m. the next morning at Cu-Chi, and Gino feels like he's been asleep for a long time when he hears, louder by the word, "Let's go, Gino!" Gino pops up, he hears, "Incoming! Incoming!" He hurls out the door. 9 young men, half naked, half asleep, stumble into the bunker. Helter skelter. Gino screams, "My God, they're coming closer. Why don't they get them? Where are the fucking choppers?" Joe Kramer screams, "My God, they're almost here." David Fisher screams, "Jimmy, let's get in that Jeep and get the fuck out of here." Gino hears a thundering noise to his rear and his right. He sees a glow like when you look at the sun with your eyes closed. He feels sprayed by pebbles on his naked body. He feels his body being lifted into the air. He thinks, "I am right in the middle of the explosion." And then he thinks, "I am still alive. I am still alive." Gino looks down. Blood is pouring from his stomach. His arms and legs are mangled. Brave David Fisher has stood head and shoulders above the rest of us, above the bumper rim, calling the play-by-play when the 75 millimeter rocket hits him in the chest. Parts of his body are found 150 feet away in the orderly room. Remember? Fish was our little brother. Remember when I said that you and you and you were protecting us? Remember when I said that this bunker didn't even need a top? Well, Mike Wallace came out the next day to ask about the bunkers without tops. That's right, Mike Wallace, no BS, our 60 Minutes. Steve Burns tells Mike, some of these bunkers had tops. The Army ordered them taken down. They weren't uniform. They didn't look good. Captain Muttface tells Specialist Burns, if you weren't fucking going home tomorrow, I'd have your fucking ass court-martialed. Gino Caro was taken to the 12th medevac. The bombs are still falling. A frazzled nurse pumps 2 quarts of the wrong blood into him, then walks away figuring that nobody will figure it out in the fog of war. But Steve Burns sees Gino going purple and grabs the nurse by the throat. You get over there and save that soldier or it will strangle you right now. Gino awakens from surgery and he sees that the wolfhounds had brought in 2 wounded Viet Cong combatants. And he watches the wolfhounds as they put them on the floor, kick them, and cuss them. And they twitch and moan for an hour until they finally die. There is a part of me that feels sorry for the VSC, but another part of me enraged that I cannot get off of my bed and to help the wolfhounds that kick the motherfuckers to death. I don't find out about any of this stuff until 4 days later when I returned to Saigon. What? No, why them? Why not me? They had wives and little kids. We can't go back to Coochie. I won't go back to Coochie. And then this cab driver tries to overcharge me. You fucking sulfite gook! They died because it's for you? But Steve Burns had another perspective as to who was responsible here. Steve Burns, our great photographer who would go on to work for Newsweek Life and Time magazine and become the chief photo editor at the New York Post. On the morning of April 10th, 1967, he awakens from the blast to find parts of Jimmy Edwards and Joe Kramer on him. Body pieces, brain matter. Now Joe Kramer does not have to worry about what kind of job he'll be qualified for back home. And who will write sweet Janie this letter? And as Steve Burns is pulled from the bunker, he does not scream those fucking bastard communists. He does not yell those fucking Viet Cong. He screams only one thing over and over. That bastard Johnson. That bastard Johnson. 8 days later, I returned to San Francisco and moved into the Haight-Ashbury during the Summer of Love. On October 12, 1967, I marched with the Veterans Against the War to City Hall. And there is General Hugh Hester. Fucking guy has medals from World War I and World War II, saying that the war is illegal, immoral, and genocidal. And then Pete Seeger sings, "We're waist deep in the big muddy, but the big fool said to push on." Then they point to me. I spent 1 year in Vietnam as a combat correspondent for the Army, and I represent the thousands of Vietnam veterans against this war. The American people can't say that we don't know what we're talking about, that we didn't go, that we are cowards. We went, and we say this war is wrong. Just before I left, 3 of my closest buddies were killed in a rocket attack. And when Steve Burns was pulled out of the bunker, he screamed only one thing over and over: that bastard Johnson, that bastard Johnson, that bastard Johnson.